You think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me?
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd?
That there's not another guy in the world that can beat you right now. That's Mayweather level. Head to head at their welterweight primes, Bud versus Floyd. I feel like a lot of us might actually be picking Bud right now. But what he achieved, I cannot put him above Mayweather or Pacquiao because he got these opportunities so late.
This is the problem with Bud's career, right? It bloomed kind of late.
Bud's been the best man for 12 years. But no one gave him credit because he didn't go tell you he was the best man. He didn't market that. He just went out and fought and beat people and knocked people out. So he had to move up and take the bigger.
Terence Crawford didn't hold back when asked about Floyd Mayweather's recent claim that he could beat him. Speaking with confidence, Crawford said he would defeat Mayweather, even in his prime. He emphasized that his legacy will be defined by never backing down from a challenge, pointing out that no one can accuse him of avoiding opponents. Crawford made it clear that if a fight with Mayweather were ever on the table, he wouldn't shy away from it either.
Like this, and then that's when Floyd started taking over.
What do you want your legacy to be like when your career's all said and done? What do you want people to remember you for?
Oh man, everybody's asking me the question. I always be like, man, it's whatever it's their opinion. Everybody gonna have a different opinion of Terence Crawford, but one thing they can't say is that I ducked anyone. I fought everyone that was available to fight.
Veteran boxing analyst Dan Raphael believes Terence Crawford has already done enough to secure his place in history. In Raphael's view, Crawford doesn't need another fight to prove his greatness. His legacy is set. He's cleaned out divisions, unified titles, and dominated top-level opponents without showing weakness. At this stage, Raphael argues, it's not about proving anything anymore. It's about protecting what he's built and enjoying the recognition he deserves. For him, Crawford's resume has already exceeded expectations, and chasing extra fights wouldn't change how history views him. His dominance, especially in recent years, is more than enough to mark him as one of the all-time greats.
Crawford do now? Like, what's the next thing that he does? Because you look around and go, is the only way that he really gets that ultimate chance if he goes up again? And do you say, what do you do?
I don't quit. Yeah, I mean, he was asked those questions at the press conference. He made two things clear. One, he's not going back to 154, and I say that because some people suggested about possibly pursuing a fight with Ennis, who has his debut in the weight class coming up.
Yeah.
That's probably unlikely. He's not going to go back down in weight. And I mean, no disrespect to Ennis, but Ennis is a guy that's known within the diehards of boxing. He's not in any way known beyond the boundaries of the hardcore boxing fan. So yeah. I don't know if that makes sense for a lot of different reasons for him. Not to say I wouldn't, as a boxing fan, enjoy watching the fight. So, yeah. But I don't think he's going back to 154. He was asked about like a Benavides at 175, and he acknowledged like that guy's really big. I mean, that's maybe a bridge too far. He already went up to 2 weight classes to fight Canelo at 68. So it feels to me like he could either stay at 168 and defend this championship and look to the same types of names that were being thrown around as the types of guys that would have been in the mix for Canelo had he won the fight. And he's going to have mandatories. Obviously, that's the first thing they'll have to look at. I mean, I don't know if he's not going to necessarily keep the belts if he's forced into a mandatory. He doesn't need the belts at this point, but there might be something appealing to him. For example, and Billy had a great fight on the undercard, although he's been ordered to fight a rematch in that fight. Mm-hmm. That was, fight of the year against Lester Martinez, candidate for fight of the year.
Terence Crawford's dominant win over Canelo Alvarez has sparked major debate in the boxing world. Fans and analysts immediately compared it to Floyd Mayweather's victory over Canelo years earlier. The difference? Mayweather beat a young, less experienced Canelo, while Crawford dismantled a seasoned version of the Mexican superstar. That contrast has led some to argue Crawford's win was the more impressive of the two, but analyst Luke Thomas urged caution. He pointed out that Mayweather became a superstar much earlier, facing elite competition at a younger age, while Crawford's career took longer to gain traction due to weaker promotion and recognition. Because of that, Crawford's prime moments are arriving later than Floyd's did. Thomas argues that while Crawford's performance may have looked more
This was a masterclass. One guy with outrageous skill offensively and defensively, simply making another very good fighter look lesser than. This was the other part. The people who watch MMA and then try to watch boxing through an MMA lens, I don't know what to tell you. You're actually missing the point. The kind of specific details and the depth of the technical ability far surpasses even what you can get at the highest level of MMA, because they don't have that level of skill. There is no equivalent in MMA to Bud Crawford, because there cannot be. Bud is the most talented boxer I've seen since Mayweather.
I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
To be fair to Floyd, he obviously had hand problems in his whole welterweight run, and it's why he took that long stretch off in 2007, 2008, 2009 area, and Floyd's brilliance to be able to be just as great in some ways at that age. We're not here trying to dunk on Floyd. When you get a victory like this, right now, straight up, Luke, you could say that there's not a welterweight, junior middleweight, or maybe even super middleweight. When you could say over like a 4-division stretch, Bud cut down to any of these weights, that there's not another guy in the world that can beat you right now, that's Mayweather level. Head to head at their welterweight primes, Bud versus Floyd, I feel like a lot of us might actually be picking Bud right now. But what he achieved, I cannot put him above Mayweather or Pacquiao, because he got these opportunities so late.
This is the problem with Bud's career, right? It bloomed kind of late. I find Bud to be as defensively sound as I've